afternoon, South Africa. Lovely to be back. Welcome to Afternoon Express. You're live on SABC3. I'm Bonang Matiba. It is Motivational Monday and only 17 days left until we get to the end of the year. Can you believe that?
Yeah, lovely to have you with us indeed. I'm Bonnie Booley. Welcome back to the Loft.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Today we'll be focusing on one of South Africa's best loved sports, soccer.
Absolutely. Very excited. Today in the Loft with two veterans. First up, we're going to be chatting to Stanton Fredericks, who used to play for Bafana and a host of other clubs all across the world. Very excited to have him in the Loft. Also, all the way from the UK with international sports presenter Sarah Stanton. Now, this lady has covered the Olympics, the Premier League, all that and more. Sarah Stone, I beg your pardon. And a little bit later, she's going to be giving us a little bit of insight into the sporting industry.
Yeah. We're also joined by two representatives who are representing organizations that work at a grassroots level to develop soccer in South Africa. One is Try Again, a women's football club from Cape Town, and the other is Grassroots South Africa, who use soccer to educate youth about the dangers of HIV. But Jeannie's in the kitchen with our other soccer legend in the Loft today.
I know, and you know what? Those girls never want to be in the kitchen, except for today. Now, I love soccer, but there's one thing that I love more than soccer, and that's soccer players. So no, I don't have Beckham in the kitchen with me, but I've got Bafana legend, Mr. Matthew Booth. How are you?
Fantastic. I'm sorry to disappoint you about the Beckham situation.
It's definitely not a disappointment. Always such a pleasure to see you. Are you well? You've been well. You always look so dapper.
Absolutely, yeah. We're on holiday now, so yeah, I can't complain.
And Sonia and kids, all amazing?
All behaving themselves, yeah, for a change.
Oh, they are wonderful. So lovely to have you here. And then in the kitchen, we have the fantastic Abigail Donnelly. What are we making? Because Christmas is coming and like kitchen prep and Christmas prep is underway, and I'm stressing, as you can tell.
No, you mustn't stress. You must enjoy it.
No, I'm actually cooking something for Christmas. I'm going to panic. I don't know yet. That's why I'm glad you're here.
Okay, so you might need a little eggnog to start you off.
Ooh.
So we're going to do a little treat, an eggnog, and the other treat is your own homemade chocolate coins.
Is that what we're making today?
Yeah, simple, easy, special treats that you can just woo and ow and whatever with your guests.
Okay, that's amazing. I'm looking so forward to that. I'm in the kitchen today with Abigail. Remember, you can cook with us today. All you need to do is go to our website, afternoonexpress.co.za, and our recipes and, of course, our shopping lists are going to be there. And you can have this delicious eggnog and chocolate coins with us as well. But first, Bonang is on the couch with our very first guest.
Thank you so much, Jay Dizzle. Do remember we are live, so make sure you interact with us on Twitter and Facebook at Afternoon Chat. Use our official hashtag Afternoon Express. Like we said, today it's all about the veterans. It is a Motivational Monday, and our first guest started his professional soccer career at the age of 19 years for Bidvest Wits, and then after playing in Switzerland for a year, he returned to South Africa to play for Kaizer Chiefs with a successful career for Bafana and various clubs around the world. He finally retired in 2013, I beg your pardon, at Wits. The very club that he began his career at. And joining us on the couch is former Bafana midfielder Stanton Fredericks. Lovely to see you.
Thanks for having me here. You're making me sound very old. Veteran, all of these.
I wouldn't say old, I'd say, you know, very successful.
Thank you.
But we have Matthew in the Loft today. I understand you guys are very good friends. Where did that friendship begin?
Well, it started a while back before we both became professionals at the under-20 national team juniors. And yeah, that's where our friendship started. And as life took us our way, we eventually played at the same time in Russia together. And yeah, we've been good friends ever since. Matthew's the naughty one. I'm the disciplined one. So yeah, it's been a crazy ride.
Yeah, and you have the same record, I think, the most caps.
Yes, it's something. In fact, it's a bit unfair because I think I've got one more cap than him. But it's the most capped under 23 player currently, and as we know, our current Olympic team has just qualified for the Olympics. So I think our record's up for.
Yeah.
Will be taken away soon.
Good luck with that. But let's talk a little bit about Russia and playing in Russia. Of course, a different climate, different people, different atmosphere altogether. How was that experience for you and, you know, being there with Matthew?
Well, you know, I moved at the age of 26. Wow. So basically, you're stuck in your ways. And I had to go there. Firstly, the weather. Secondly, the language. Yes. You know, just to adapt in the beginning it was so difficult, but that's what I chose. It was what I wanted since I was a little boy, playing in the dusty streets, an opportunity to play in Europe. I was blessed with the opportunity, and as you know, with success comes with great difficulties.
Yeah.
6 months later, I slowly started learning the language, started making friends, enjoying it, exactly what I thought it would be growing up as a youngster. And yes, I really enjoyed my time.
But do you have a highlight, you know, playing overseas in Europe? I mean, since you were a little boy, you said, you know, you feel kind of satisfied and fulfilled. Was there a particular moment that stood out for you while you were there?
You know what? Funny enough, my highlight in my career, 17 years of playing football, is when my Russian team came to South Africa on preparation to play against Kaizer Chiefs. And there I stood singing the national anthem on the Russian side. And yeah, so that was one of my proudest moments.
That is unbelievable. Now let's take it back to when you were a child. Did you always want to play football and end up in Europe? And, you know, what are some of the steps that you took to ultimately, you know, kind of grab that dream and make it a possibility?
Yeah, there was basically nothing else.
Yeah.
It's football. From our schools, there's no cricket, no rugby, it's just football. That's all I knew, and that's all I done. I must say, I never envisioned being a professional soccer. I just knew that I loved playing soccer in the streets with my friends. Only once I completed my schooling did I then, how could I say, think that I could possibly become a professional. I then joined Bidvest Wits, and not long thereafter, which it doesn't always happen as quick as it happened for me. You know, you got to go through, pay your dues, and fortunately, I think it was a blessing above. I turned professional at the age of 19. And yeah, I never looked back.
Do you have a mentor? I know, you know, in my career, when I started in radio, there's always that particular one person, the late DJ Monde, who said, Bonang, go to radio, do it, do it, do it. And he pushed me and he supported me through it all. Was there someone like that for you?
Along the way, I met few coaches that was my mentors, like the Roger de Sa, the coach of Cape Town Ajax, Ajax Cape Town. But I must say, for me, my mentor was my mom. Single mother, only child. Wasn't always easy, so she was always there, my backbone. So
Absolutely.
I'll have to just divert and say, no, it's not a footballer or a coach.
Yes.
It was definitely my mom.
So what did Mom say when she saw you in Strictly Come Dancing?
Oh.
And how was that experience with your partner, Aaron? It must have been quite a very different from what you do every day.
Bonang, I must tell you, one of the most challenging, life-changing experiences ever. Initially, it was about, I can do this. I never watched one episode of Strictly Come Dancing before I actually participated. And I was like, no, I could do this. I could run the business. I could take 2 hours of training, because in the contract, it's a minimum of a certain amount of hours. I work it out. I was like, this is like soccer. 2 hours a day, I'm sorted.
Yeah.
Plus, I can shake a bit in the club.
Oh, hey now.
Oh, no.
Totally different from what happens on the dance floor, right?
Totally different, yeah. But what a journey that I wouldn't change for anything.
And then, Aaron, let's talk a little bit about your partner. I mean, you know, it's one thing to have a like soccer team and then go one-on-one with Aaron for so many weeks and being so, you know, kind of personal and close for hours and hours every day.
So much boundaries I had to get used to. Number one, I had to get used to, because I'm married.
Yes.
So being close to a lady that's not my wife.
Exactly.
That's a boundary I have to overcome. But then also the feisty Erin Mussen. She's a strong character. And in my space, I'm good at football. You cannot tell me. So I was a bit stubborn.
Yeah.
Because I was like, shouldn't I do it this way? Doesn't this work? Doesn't that work? Not understanding that she's the professional. And I need to listen to her and take in instructions from a woman, which I only realized later on was difficult for me.
Yeah.
I had to overcome that, and I had to understand that this is a woman. Listen to her. Not that
she
I'm
knows
sexist,
exactly
I'm
what
just
she's
saying,
doing.
You know?
Would you do it again?
In a blink.
Really?
In a blink.
That's incredible. Now, something else that everyone knows you, when I think of you, I think the crazy hairstyles, the color. You're very kind of out there.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your style and, you know, the confidence when it comes to changing your hair all the time.
Yeah, I think I was, if anybody knows me, I was a shy, quiet guy. And I think my football, playing for Kaizer Chiefs with the country watching you, I think slowly but surely the inside of me is this character that's out there. So I think that's where I used to show my true character through the hairstyles. Sorry about that.
I love that. I love that.
The hairstyles, the boots. I wasn't too much of a going out there, but when I do go out, I'd like to look the part. So yeah, it all came with the Glamour Boys.
I love that. I really do. A little bit later, I want to ask you, you know, about the current state of Bafana Bafana. If you were coach, what you would do differently. So think about that. If you have any questions for Mr. Fredericks, you know exactly where to find us. #Afternoon Express. But after the break, Jeannie makes us a traditional Christmas eggnog, and we chat to former Bafana Bafana defender Matthew Booth. Stay right there.
Show them how much you love them with Bob Martin.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express, and it is the season to be jolly. And here's one way to give you a very Merry Christmas in the kitchen with the fantastic Abigail Donnelly, and we're making eggnog. So okay, confession time. I've never even tasted eggnog before in my entire life.
Well, this is the perfect one because this is a nice ice-chilled one.
Lovely.
Obviously, overseas in America, it's traditional by the fireplace. It warms the soul. And it's rich and creamy, and it's got a lot of rum or brandy. But this one, I've kind of turned it into like an icy delight.
Oh, delicious.
Okay. So we've got 4 free-range eggs. Use the yolks and the white, the whole egg, and then you just whisk it up. You can actually really cheat and just put everything in a blender, whiz it up, pour it
I
in.
thought the only people who wanted like raw eggs were bodybuilders, but now it seems
You can
that
cook
very
it.
Christmassy people.
You could cook it as well, but it's a little bit of egg, and it's not going to do anything to you. But if you wanted to, you could put it on a bain-marie over slow heat and cook it into a custard. But who's got time for that, hey? And this way, with a bit of the rum and the brandy and the maple syrup, you don't even taste the egg. It's just this absolute beautiful creamy concoction.
Lovely.
So you must make sure that the egg is whipped really nice. You don't want any of those little kind of egg particles in.
Yeah.
And then with that, we've got some vanilla. This is vanilla from the real deal stuff.
The real deal.
But if you wanted to, you could add a little bit of vanilla extract or even vanilla essence.
Yes.
Even a little bit of almond would be quite nice if you like almond. And Christmas is all about spices as well, you know, so the almond is great. Okay, and then we've got cream, luxurious cream. You could do half cream, half milk if you wanted.
Oh, but full cream is so much better.
Exactly, yeah. And then give that a good look at that colour. Isn't that amazing?
Oh,
Starting
that is
to
gorgeous.
really
And you
come
can see
together.
it's got that vanilla look as well.
Exactly, yeah. So once this is all kind of mixed up, I would put it into a jug first and chill it because you don't want it to be lukewarm. I mean, or room temperature.
No,
you really want that
definitely
like
not.
that real icy. And then I've got this fantastic rum.
Gorgeous.
Pop that in.
Ooh,
Whoop,
it
it's
really
Christmas.
is beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
And if you could smell this, it's like quite intoxicating from all that vanilla. And we're going to add nutmeg as well.
Okay.
All the beautiful
Here's the
Christmas
nutmeg.
spices.
How much would you like me to add?
Just a little dash. There we go. And that's a ground one. You could also use the fresh whole one, which I love. I love having in my kitchen. I've got whole nutmeg.
But
And then just
nutmeg
to
smells like
sweeten
Christmas.
naturally, obviously sugar still, but it's not the pure sugar, but it's beautiful maple syrup and the real deal from America, from Canada. And add as you need. Okay, and now we're ready to pop that in. As I said, it's really easy. Into these glasses.
Amazing. Oh, that is so exciting. I cannot wait for Christmas. So this is traditionally American, but now that you are making it really, really cold, it's perfect for a warm South African Christmas
Absolutely.
as well. Yummy.
Look at that. So, sorry, that's a little one, but you got extra.
Don't worry, I'll drink that now.
Cool. And then, Jenny, just some beautiful real deal vanilla ice cream as well. Just these are fantastically balled already, which is a great tip as well.
Oh, my
That-
goodness.
Especially if it's hot, you don't want melted ice cream.
Yeah,
so you can ball
exactly.
them, put them in the fridge on a baking tray or a bowl, and then they're all ready to kind of serve.
But you could actually just serve this eggnog as a topping for the ice cream.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you
It could be a
wanted to make the
sauce.
ice cream,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, even with waffles as well. Let's give that one that little bit of a cheat. That only got that. They can have 2 balls, and there's another ball. And again, you could
Exactly.
use chocolate ice cream if you wanted, but vanilla is really good. And then just a little bit of honey on top. And again, you could use
Now, would
maple
you serve
syrup.
this as a dessert, do you think?
You could do with some beautiful biscotti or a little bit of Christmas cake or a mince
When is
pie.
it traditionally meant to be served?
On Christmas Eve.
Okay.
Yeah, which is really great. And it's
Just
by the
before you
fire
like to open
and you
one
open
present.
present. Yeah. You could also leave some
Just
for Father
one
Christmas
on
too.
Christmas Eve.
And then a little bit more nutmeg. Again, you could add cinnamon if you wanted, if you didn't really like the taste of nutmeg.
This
really
is
just
really
make it on your
such a
own.
good idea. Oh,
There we
you've
go.
saved
Okay.
Christmas, Abigail.
Well, it's only make it more jolly.
Remember, the website does contain all of the ingredients and, of course, the recipe, afternoonexpress.co.za. But for now, Vonang is on the couch with our next guest.
Thank you so much. It looks absolutely incredible. Now, our next guest was born in Fishhook in Cape Town and started to play soccer at the age of 5. His professional career began in the mother city in 1996, and his first international game for South Africa was against Botswana in 1999. With a successful career for Bafana Bafana, playing a total of 37 games, has become a household name in South Africa. Joining us on the couch is former Bafana Bafana defender Matthew Booth, along with Stanton Fredericks. As soon as I hear your voice, my head already wants to go, boo. Ooh, because I can hear it echoing all across the country. Lovely to have you. Lovely to see you.
Thank you for the invite.
Stanton was telling me that you guys, played together and met up in Russia. What are some of the things you guys got up to?
Yeah, I just have to rectify something there. He said that I was the naughty one. That's complete opposite, I'm afraid.
Yeah?
He was a naughty child.
So what did you do? How was Russia and the entire experience and having somebody there from back home?
Yeah, the first two guys who really went over was the late Jacob Lecheto and Bennett Mguni, and they kind of paved the way for the rest of us South Africans to follow, because they were very successful. So whenever that happens, the clubs tend to come to South Africa and see what's happening. So I think I went over, and then I think a whole host of South African players came over, including Stanton. So it was nice.
On the bandwagon, didn't we?
No, not at all. The guys got there on their talent and really flew the flag for South Africa, which was fantastic.
Absolutely. And we're talking earlier about the record of you having the most caps, both of you, for under 23 players. Stanton was saying that he's a bit nervous right now because it seems that, that record is under threat at the moment. Is that how you feel?
Yeah, well, a lot of, they've done exceptionally well to qualify now. So they're going to be getting more game time, playing more friendlies, and then, of course, the cherry on the top is going to Rio. I think the coach is going to have a difficult time keeping the players disciplined going to Rio. Got to focus on the game. But it's a fantastic achievement, and for the last 15 years, we've been waiting for a team to qualify again.
Absolutely. Now, Matthew, you've played in some really important games in your life. We've seen you all across the world. Is there a particular match or a moment that stood out for you throughout your entire career?
I think whenever we've played Brazil, I don't know what it is, but it seems to bring out the best in South African teams. And in 2000, when we reached Sydney, we played and beat a Brazilian team which was led by Ronaldinho. And I think that's a game which will always stand out. Confederations Cup in 2009, we also met Brazil again. We lost very narrowly, but it was nice to go toe-to-toe with, I think at that stage, they were number 2 in the world. So those two games, definitely.
The Olympics, not a lot of players get to ultimately go to the Olympics. For you, do you remember that year in 2000? Do you remember what was going on? Do you remember how it was?
I remember the whole qualification process. It was arduous. We travelled across the continent to qualify, and then we had to go to New Zealand, play each team home and away in a playoff. So it was nerve-wracking. It was very arduous, a lot of hard work. The team was kept very consistent, and I think that was, for the last 6 years, we had kept the core of the team the same, had the same coach, and I think that's one of the reasons why we had just a glimmer of success. But yeah, a fantastic journey, and when we finally got to the Olympics, I think the only criticism that I had was the fact that the football tournament was not part of the actual Olympics.
We were based in Bloem.
Somewhere else.
In Canberra.
Far.
Canberra. Canberra is like the Pofadder of South Africa. You know
That's
what I mean?
fun.
It was dead boring. We wanted to be back in Sydney where the action was going
absolutely.
on. But it was a great atmosphere and good to be part of the tournament.
And a lot of people at home don't know that you are part of the Grassroots organization. What exactly do you do there, and what is, that project all about?
Now, I'm very, very fond of grassroots football. A lot of people these days are kind of charity fatigued, especially when it comes to the AIDS agenda. And I think it's very important that we keep on harping on about the importance of educating our kids about AIDS, how prevention, education generally, and it's football being the #1 sport in South Africa is a fantastic way to facilitate that message. So I've been involved with them since, I think, 2009. One of the very first events I did for them was, I think, in Googs, just now, and in Okuhle. And, the kids were not really wanting to get tested, until I arrived and showed them, went inside the tent, got tested, came out, then there was a long line outside waiting to come in, Plus, obviously, the added incentive of being able to play football and do a training session, just worked out well.
That's awesome. Matthew's saying that football is the #1 sport in the country. Yes. And I think we all know it could be better. What do you think is the problem? And where do you think it needs to start sort of fixing it? Bafana, whatever it is.
Yeah. I think the solution is there. I think I don't like to speak about our generation, but it's an example and something to work off. We were together from under 17. We then went to under 20s. We went to under 23s, and we should have filtered through to Bafana and succeeded the successful class of 96. So that is where it breaks down. There's no continuity. You know, we played against the likes of Thierry Henry under 20 World Cup, Anelka. They then moved to the Olympics, which we did, and they became the first team, the national team. And I think that's what we need to reinvent, is our under-17s progressing to under-20s through the ranks. Example, this very qualification game that the boys won, it puts you in a situation where you're under pressure. You need to win. The country's watching you. We haven't qualified in 15 years. The boys are going through pressure. And it's that type of pressure that when you do represent your national team, you are able to do it. It's not the first time you're in that scenario. You know, there's a bit of experience. You've been there, you've traveled the road. It's not getting over your nerves. It's about getting onto the field and playing the game. So for me, we need a bit more continuity throughout the ranks.
Absolutely. And from two former under-23 players, if you to other 23 players, if you're watching, the best of luck to all of you. Well, our legends and veterans are still in the loft. If you have any questions for us, you know exactly where to find us. Tweet us. Stanton and, of course, Matthew will be here for the rest of the show. But after the break, we chat to international sports presenter and reporter Sarah Stone, all the way from the UK. Don't touch that dial. This is SABC3.
Give kids the gift of hearing this Christmas. Are you with us?
Welcome back to Afternoon Express live on SABC3. She currently works for BBC Sports and the Be In Sport channel, where she presents and reports for the Premier League. She has worked at Al Jazeera before and has covered a number of major world sporting events, including the Champions League, ATP World Tour tennis finals, and she anchored the Olympic Breakfast Show, which was broadcast every day throughout the games for the channel. Joining us on the couch all the way from the UK is Sarah Stone. Welcome, Sarah. Lovely to have you in the loft.
Lovely to be here. Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. So what is your actual position at Be In Sports and BBC Sports?
So I'm a sports presenter. So as you just mentioned, I cover a whole range of sports. So tennis, football, rugby. And then when I anchored the Olympic Breakfast Show,
That's epic.
Epic. So many sports. Too many to mention.
And that was obviously live.
Yeah, live every single day. So it was pretty hardcore, actually, because we were up at about 4:30 every morning to film at 10 a.m. But then you'd have to watch all the events in the evening. So I was getting sort of 3 hours sleep a night. So it was hard, but brilliant. What an amazing experience. And it was in my home country.
Exactly.
The UK, so it's amazing.
That's awesome. And I can imagine in general, to stay on your toes and stay ahead of the game, you have to watch a lot of sporting events in general, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, all the time. I mean, sport's on in our house 24/7. My husband works in sport as well.
As well.
So it's always on. Every football game we see, yes.
And
so,
I mean, when it comes to female sports presenters, there's this misconception or this bias that women don't make such great sports reporters, or that they have to be one of the boys or really manly to be able to. What has the perception been in the UK and in the Middle East where you've worked before?
I think it's changing. I think it would be foolish to say men and women are equal within the sporting presenting world or realm. But that said, you know, things are changing. More and more women are being employed, myself included, obviously, which is a fantastic thing. But the thing that does annoy me, if I'm completely honest with you, is I could say a name accidentally a little bit wrong. So Dimitar Berbatov, player. You know, I might say Dimitar Bibitov, but, you know, accidentally. Quickly correct myself, and I'll get inundated with tweets. She doesn't know what she's talking about, you know. Whereas, obviously, a man could say the same, quickly correct himself, nobody would think twice.
Right.
That frustrates me, because I'll try and have a joke, you know, call somebody... oh, well, he thinks he's Justin Bieber. She thinks he's Justin Bieber. You know, obviously, I don't think he's Justin Bieber. He looks a bit like him, you know. Whereas men can sort of get away with that.
With those kind of quips,
sometimes it does feel, you know, as a presenter, they're looking for...
it seems as if you have less wiggle room.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's the frustrating thing you find from a presenting point of view. But that said, you know, there's more and more female producers, and I think they're really realising that girls do know what they're talking about.
And behind the scenes, I mean, do you feel pressure to be one of the boys?
No, I don't, to be honest with you. But that said, you know, I do like football, soccer. Should be saying soccer, shouldn't I?
Soccer.
While I'm here, absolutely. Sorry.
Chiefs or
Soccer.
Pirates?
Oh, that's the big question. I'm going to have to say Pirates because I really like Orlando in Florida, to be honest. So I'm rubbish. I wish I had a team.
That's a
I
good
need
enough
team.
reason.
So that's going to be my team from now on. And Pirates. Through
Pirates.
and through. Absolutely. But no, I don't feel pressurised to be one of the boys. You know, that said, yeah, I do watch sport, so I would be like, did you see the game last night? But that's not me being, all right, lads, fancy a beer? Did you see the game last night? You know, I just genuinely want to know whether they saw the game. So that said, yeah, you've got to have a personality that's into sports to work in sports. But they also know I'll be like the first to say, oh, pass me that nice red lippy. That looks good. That'll match my outfit. So
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, your first television presenting job was for the Manchester United channel, and you were a fan.
Yeah, of course.
Was that awesome? What was that experience like?
Really brilliant. I mean, that was my first ever presenting role. So I feel really humbled towards them that they gave me that you know, privilege to work for their channel. It's an absolutely huge channel. It's the biggest club channel. You know, it's broadcast all around the world.
Wow.
And that was brilliant, you know, interviewing the players, going to the games. I mean, yeah, it was fantastic, although I am married to a big Manchester City fan. So the rivalry there isn't great in the household.
Right,
and we've just had a baby, so she's just split down the middle. We don't know what to do yet. I'm gearing for Manchester United.
Shame.
I'm going for it.
Have you ever been preparing for an interview or were about to interview somebody really big and you were just so nervous?
Yeah, I mean, I worked with Sir Alex Ferguson. He was the boss in charge at Manchester United when I was working there. So, and when he walks into the room...
Did you develop a
You know
stutter?
about it. Yeah, basically did. You know about it, you know. The players would shut up, you know, the coaches would shut up. He has an aura. I mean, that man is cool, to be fair to him.
Wow.
I wish I had that aura. I don't have that aura. People just carry on talking when I walk into a room. But when he walks into a room, it's pretty cool. So, yeah, I got nervous when I spoke to him because you didn't know if he'd suddenly be like, do you know what? Forget this interview. You know, there's been a few times of taking the mic off. So he was pretty intimidating. But had an experience with Jose Mourinho, the manager of Chelsea, and I was in a press conference, surrounded by journalists. It was a huge Champions League game. I, you know, ask my little question, right? Best ask my question, put my hand up, ask it, and he just goes silent for what felt like an eternity. It was 40 seconds of silence.
Was he thinking? What was going on? Or was he deciding whether to answer your question?
I mean, it wasn't a really controversial one. You know, I remember it to this day. They were facing Bayern Munich, and I was like, do you think Bayern are the biggest test so far in your Champions League campaign, Jose? And he just looked at me and was silent. I had all these journalists turning around. I was thinking, oh, God, he is playing Bayern Munich, isn't he? You know, all these things running through my mind.
Yeah.
He finally answered me, and it was awful. And I was just so... I have no idea what he said. He could have said, I ate grapes for dinner last night.
You had left
no
the
idea,
room
but
by
I was
then.
like,
It was over for you.
oh, it was awful. But I wish I had a better story, actually,
Yeah.
that I, you know, fell flat on my face in front of, Jose Mourinho, and he threw a pie at me.
Yeah.
I wish I had that story, but I don't.
Having worked in the industry for so long and having such a vast knowledge of it, what are some of your thoughts on what's going on with FIFA and the whole controversy around Sepp Blatter?
There is controversy. I mean, it's hard to comment on Sepp Blatter, really, whilst, you know, things are going on and what needs to happen is being looked into. What needs to be looked into is being looked into. So only time will tell, but it doesn't look good. So really what FIFA need is transparency and to clean up its image. You know, they're a little bit of a laughing stock, really. You mentioned FIFA and it's, yeah, right, like they'll sort anything out, which needs to be amended. And I think all the candidates now running for that new role, for the presidency role, all seem to preach that, which is fantastic.
Yeah, we also have an offering on the candidate list, Tokyo Sekhuale. And what do you think of his chances?
He sounds fantastic. You know, his manifesto all sounds spot on, really. You know, like I said, transparency is the key in order to make people realise that FIFA are good again, if that makes sense. You know, at the moment they've got such a tarnished name.
People's morale.
Whereas whoever needs that position, and Tokyo Sexuale seems like an absolute prime candidate. And how wonderful for you guys here in South Africa if he does get it.
Yeah, it would be absolutely awesome.
Yeah,
Really
and
honouring
he's on The
us.
Apprentice, isn't he?
Yes.
As the big boy on The Apprentice. Now that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
You're on holiday in South Africa at the moment.
I am, yes.
With your
it's
family.
Amazing.
And
I love
what
it
have you
here.
been up to? What have you been seeing?
So, where to start? We had such a packed itinerary. So I brought my 7-month-old baby here.
Oh, I know,
which
she's so adorable.
She's a cutie, isn't she? She was a cutie. She actually had to get taken out because she was making noise, did you see?
I heard that.
Yeah, we both just skimmed over it, didn't we? No, she's a really good girl. She's a cutie pie, and we've been doing so much because we're only here for the week. So it's an 11.5-hour flight.
And I
here.
see you've hooked yourself up with some nice South African
what I did?
earrings. Yes,
See what I
well
did there?
done, well done.
Thanks. Yeah, I liked them. I got them in Watershed just this morning, which I really like. I mean, I haven't been to Tabletop Mountain yet because the weather keeps being too windy, but I'm really looking forward to that. We've been to see the penguins, we've been to Harbour House, we've been everywhere.
So, Sarah, a little birdie told me that you'll be hosting the Olympics next year.
Yes.
Wow. And
How
now that you're
exciting.
just soaring. Hashtag flourishing.
Oh, hashtag I hope so.
Hashtag stay winning.
Oh, hashtag tiger blood, hey.
Are you
lots
looking
of
forward to
hashtags.
that?
Yes, absolutely. I can't wait. I don't know what role I'm doing yet, but I can't wait. Like we mentioned, you know, I presented the Olympic breakfast show last year, so it's going to be fantastic.
You kind of got the hang of it.
I know, and
Yeah,
Brazil is such a cool country, isn't it?
know,
Obviously,
isn't
they
it
had the
incredible?
World Cup that I was fortunate to go to.
Are you going to take your family again? And
yeah.
and your little one?
Yeah, I can't be away
she'll
from her
be
for too
walking
long.
by then.
Yeah. Presumably, yeah. I'm sort of only down with like how old she is because she's my first. So I don't know the stages, but yeah, I presume so.
I know the stages.
Yeah, there
I've
you
got
go.
2 of my own.
Perfect. So she's 7 months now, I presume. She will be walking.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sarah,
Thank
for
you for
joining us.
having
It's
me.
been great talking to you.
Thank you so much.
Well, from us here at Afternoon Express, we wish Sarah all the best for the Olympics next year, and also to our very own Tokyo Sexuale in becoming the next head of FIFA, hopefully. We'll be right back.
Adult acne on the rise? Introducing Dermalix Acne.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Christmas celebrations have already begun, and we're about to make some other very exciting thing, but I've just discovered the best invention ever in a kitchen. It's this little gold dust, and I'm not going to show you immediately what it does. Well, yeah, I am. It's like glitter. It's basically like glitter. This is the best thing I've ever
Oh my
seen.
gosh, Rudolph, a golden Rudolph.
I know. Okay, but anyway, getting back to things. We're going to make gold coins. If there's one thing that I love more than money, it's chocolate money. So we're going to be making those lovely chocolate coins.
Okay, so really, again, very easy little treat.
Yeah.
And I've always, as a kid, loved those chocolate coins.
Yes,
But
me
these
too.
are great for the kids, although this is dark chocolate, so they might not like that. My kids don't like dark chocolate. So you can use white chocolate or milk chocolate and any flavour. You know, get all fabulous chocolates with different flavour. And then just melt
Lindt
it.
as well is just incredible. And they've got all of those
they've
flavours.
got like
the chocolate
pear
chili, the
and-
salt.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
And we're going to make our own salt one.
Okay, good.
So it's just melted in a double boiler over the stove or in the microwave.
Yeah.
So easy, no cream, anything. Just pop that inside
Simple
there.
as that.
And you know what? Also, Jeannie, you could actually layer them. So you could do like the dark chocolate, milk chocolate. So you can make your own top deck coins. Yes. Just thought of that.
And
there
can
we
you
go.
actually also make them, okay, then they won't be coins if they're in any different shape.
Yeah,
But you
it's around.
can make them in different shapes, no?
Exactly. And my whole idea came from bark. You know, chocolate bark where you just melt hollowed chocolate and put it on a non-stick mat or a
I've
tray.
learned how to make
And then
that
you just pile it with like different toppings and then you just break it into shards. And that's also fabulous and a great packaged into for gifts for Christmas.
Yeah.
It's always nice about
Oh,
giving
these
your
will
homemade.
make fantastic gifts
So
as
then you
well.
just pop this tray into the fridge or into the freezer depending what kind of time you need and until they set. And then you just choose any toppings that you want.
Do you wait for them to set first before you put the toppings
No, you
on?
don't have to. You know, it's quite nice
Okay.
because they stick, otherwise they fall off. So,
okay.
yeah, so I can do it straight away. And all these ingredients, Jenny, are from Woolworths. So you've got beautiful fresh cranberries, you've got coconut that's already toasted, fantastic peanut brittle,
Oh, my
any
best.
dried fruit, and then we've got some beautiful pink Himalayan salt as well.
Yeah.
and then we'll do the final trick, which you love, your little pot of gold.
I
So
cannot
just
wait to use
sprinkle a
that.
little bit. You can just do simple ones, or you can just pile them up and make a mixture. A little bit of coconut. And then what
Lovely.
else? And then we've got
And
some
then how
salt.
do you do the salty ones?
Okay, so just a little bit of salt. Salt and chocolate is just amazing.
Oh, that
And
is
then
so
cranberries,
nice.
these plum cranberries. You could use raisins as well, but the cranberries give it a nice tartness, which goes really nicely with the chocolate. And then pop those on top. Yeah, and then set them in the fridge.
And then
when they
the
come out.
ingredient of ingredients.
Okay, so then we've got these, that we've popped them out, and look, they've got really great shapes.
Oh, yeah,
They're
that is just
perfect.
fantastic.
Little bit of chocolate, the perfect mouthful.
Oh, I love.
And then just take your brush.
Now, Woolies actually sells the stuff, and I was asking Abigail, can you put this on anything? And the answer is yes, because it's completely edible. So I was thinking of making a chicken and making the whole chicken gold.
I think it would be amazing, but just don't put gold on everything. Just bring that gilded chicken out, and everybody will
Just
kind of
myself
go, oh my gosh,
and the
yeah.
chicken.
I can use it just myself, yeah. So just
Okay.
decorate it,
And
just
then
go crazy. I mean,
I
you can
just
do it a
dust them.
stripe, you can do a dust, whatever. Just make it your own. There, that's beautiful.
Okay, I got a bit excited with that one.
Picasso art there, hey?
Yeah, now I can get a little bit creative.
Yeah, exactly. That's
I
fine.
know,
That's
I'm not
great.
very good at this.
And then what I do is I kind of take them onto the table on a board once they're popped out of the shells and set, and then make them into kind of a Christmas tree little shape. Can you see here?
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
That's so sweet.
Am I doing- and that
I
one's a
think
bit
all of our
odd.
guests are going to love
And
this.
there we go. And
Yes.
everybody loves it. The grown-ups, the kids.
Yeah.
And serve it after. You can make them as gifts, pack them in little packets or boxes. Everybody will absolutely adore them.
This stuff is amazing.
It is.
I might
It's really
actually
fun.
just
You
keep
can
this
have
exact
loads
one.
of fun in the kitchen with that gold dust.
Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Abigail.
thank you.
You've saved Christmas with some of the best treats ever. This is
Oh, good.
absolutely
I'm
glorious.
glad.
Remember, the recipe and all the ingredients are on our website, afternoonexpress.co.za, and definitely get this edible glitter because it's just, it makes everything magic. Right now, there are bunnies on the couch with our next guest.
I'm definitely getting that edible glitter, Judy. Soccer might be seen as a male-dominated world, but for Nomvano Batiso from Cape Town, getting the youth off the street to play soccer was an initiative she now plans to turn into a business. Nomvano is one of 22 small business owners from Mitchell's Plain and Khayelitsha area participating in the University of Stellenbosch Business School's Small Business Academy. The program aims to advance the sustainability of small business operating in townships by fueling their growth and potential for job creation. Welcome to the Loft, Nomvano.
Thank you very much, ma'am, and thank you for the opportunity to be here today.
Oh, it's an
Thank
absolute
you.
pleasure to have you. What made you wake up one day and just say, you know what, I'm actually going to start a football club?
Yo, it's amazing. In the area where I live, I find out that our youth there, and there is also young children that are not going to school. They are not attending school, and you will find them sitting there in the streets and doing nothing. And in South Africa, there is this high risk of crime, drug abuse, and alcohol abuse. Then I only began to have a fear that if they are sitting like that and doing nothing, they will take it to crime, and they will also use drugs. So I also see an opportunity of opening a soccer team. So then I have a discussion with my husband. We agreed to collect them and ask them if they are interested in playing soccer. They were very
excited?
Very quite excited. So that is where the team begins.
Awesome. You call it Try Again. Why did you call it that?
Yes, Try Again Football Club. Ayachisamateki, that is the slogan of the team. Yes. Meaning the techies are hot.
Are
That
hot.
means when the game is hot.
It's on
then-
free.
Yes. Okay, because in life, same as in soccer, there is ups and downs. So we agreed upon that name because we don't want to lose hope, and even if we get to our ups and downs, we want to keep trying until we achieve our goal, until we reach our success.
Yes.
That is why we said Try Again Football Club.
So you also do a small business development course at the University of Stellenbosch, and it helps you improve your entrepreneurial skills. Tell us more about that.
Yes, the University of Stellenbosch Small Business Academy, it changed my life, and it also changed people's lives. That means our players also. So in the beginning, I was doing this soccer as we wanted to protect our youth. But when I get to University of Stellenbosch, then they make me change it to business. So they did help me a lot. They teach me how to manage my business in terms of finance, financial management, marketing, professional communication, and business planning.
Wow.
Yes.
So now you've turned the Try Again Football Club into a non-profit organization, and now it's become your source of employment.
Yes, ma'am.
How were you able to do that?
Okay, our youth is all the time on the spot. So by doing that and the exercises that we do every day, that makes us to be able to win most of the tournaments. So when we win tournament, then that means money. And then we also play matches that we're doing our fundraising. We're playing friendly match. We are playing in the Mandalay League. We also get money when we win there, and by attracting a lot of sponsors, then that also the source of income for us, so that we will reach our goals.
Wow. What personally inspires you? What makes you get up in the morning every day and try again?
I don't want to give up. I am a lady of success. I'm always dreaming big. That is why every day I tell myself I must do something that will take me to a success.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much for inspiring us.
Thank you, ma'am.
After the break, we chat to representatives of Grassroots Soccer South Africa, which is an organization that uses the sport of soccer to educate the youth on the dangers of HIV. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Give kids the gift of hearing this Christmas. Are you with us?
Fresh Pack. Goodness comes naturally.
Welcome back. You're still watching Afternoon Express. We're live right here on SABC3. Still a Motivational Monday, and today we're talking all things football or soccer. Now, Grassroots Soccer is a non-profit organization founded in 2002 that uses the power of soccer to educate, to inspire, and to empower young people to stop the spread of HIV. Now, to date, more than 1.2 million participants in 40 countries have taken part in Grassroots Soccer programming. Incredible stuff. But joining us on the couch from Grassroots Soccer South Africa is Gubesa and Okuhle, Tania and Nxesiare, along with Matthew and Stanton. Welcome to the loft.
Yes, welcome. Thank you for having us. How did Grassroots Soccer come about? Where did the idea germinate from?
Well, back in 2002, Grassroots Soccer was formed by a group of professional soccer players who played in Zimbabwe. And after playing in Zimbabwe, they went back home in the US. They were from the US. And after a long time visiting Zimbabwe, what they found out that most of their friends that they played with in the Premier League in Zimbabwe had died. And some of them were sick, and nobody was talking about it. It was still tabooed. And the idea came about to bring awareness to soccer players in educating them about the spread of HIV and AIDS. And the rest is history.
But then, Tony, does that mean that you obviously just use and work with predominantly males then?
Oh, no, we don't. In fact, one of the programs that makes me excited to talk about is the Skill Street program that only focuses on young adolescent girls. So we work with girls and boys, and also combined boys and girls.
Awesome. Why is soccer the perfect medium through which to teach children something so important?
Well, because we work in the community of Khayelitsha, and in South Africa, soccer is one most popular sport. And you can go anywhere. You will find a group of boys playing in a dirt field or just in an open space. And we found that it's a draw card. You know, you take a soccer ball, you throw it out there, you get plenty of kids wanting to play. And I think for us, it was a great strategy from our founders to actually use soccer, because it's something that kids from township that they can relate to.
All right. Now, Okuhle, Unjani, sis?
Ngikhona kunjani, sis?
Ngiyaphila, sis. Now, tell me, you're a coach at the organization, but for you, it's not about skills. Tell me exactly, how you go about training the young girls and boys that you work with every day, and also why you decided to be part of Grassroots Soccer.
Okay, firstly, I would answer the second question, why I decided to join Grassroots Soccer because I saw the need. As a young youth that is sitting down doing nothing, I felt I'm sitting on top of my money. So I had to wake up and do something. At the same time, seeing that people are getting affected by HIV and AIDS, infected by HIV and AIDS, and also in our families, we also being infected and affected by HIV and AIDS. So I saw that it is a need for me to just wake up and just do something about it, not sit down and talk. Let me just do action. And it's been a privilege to work in Grassroots Soccer and be part of those coaches that are doing changes in those lives and creating a safe space to those kids. I'm listening to them. Listen to their stories, touching stories, kids disclosing to you, and you have to listen attentively and making sure that you don't pass on the information that they've told you and becoming a role model to them. So it's been a very good experience, and now I've just done my 2 years, because it's a 2 years program. So it's been a great experience, and I'm sure that in the next future I'll carry on doing what I'm doing now, because I believe as a youth I'm a moving youth, and making sure that I imply and I also implement whatever that I've learned from Grassroots Soccer and carry on to other youth at home.
Soccer is seen as a male-dominated sport usually. How do the males in your space receive you when you are coaching and teaching?
Yeah, they were very shocked, but then we believe that we're doing we're not focusing on males only. Even us ladies, we can do it.
Absolutely.
Yes, and we're changing gender norms. The fact that they believe that it is the males that are playing soccer that have to teach about soccer. Also, as girls, we can do it. We know there's banyana. If there's banyana, why can I not do it?
I mean. Now, Tony, we were speaking to Matthew earlier on, and he is part of Grassroots Soccer. But why is it so important for the organization to partner with, soccer legends and famous personalities that we see, all across the country?
Yeah. In fact, you've mentioned it. Matthew is one of our ambassadors, Grassroots Soccer ambassadors, and we're happy to have him on our side. And I think having professional soccer players being part of us is actually because many young people that we work with look up to professional soccer players. And we feel that if professional soccer players can actually role play or role model, healthy lifestyle living, and I think, young boys and girls could actually change and be what they want to be.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I just want to pose this question to Matthew and Stanton. How do you think development at this early stage in soccer could actually impact the quality of our football as a whole eventually in South Africa?
Yeah, well, I think, it starts, the real development starts sort of in your early teenage years, and that is the perfect time for the likes of Grassroots to implement and facilitate their message. But from a footballing perspective, we started playing when we were 5 or 6.
Yeah.
And just getting your basic skills taught to you at an early age is vitally important. But then when you get to your early teenage years, that's when you've got to kick on and get that expert coaching advice, which we complain about lack of players, lack of quality players, but also who's coaching the coaches, So that's an important factor which we've got to think about as well.
Also just to touch on the Grassroots, just an amazing thing to be part of. I think I did do 1 or 2 appearances for you guys, and we always avail ourselves. But what football, and not only football, what sport does for the youth is that you're coaching the boy, you're saying, come on time, listen to your coach, work hard. Absolutely. And I always send this message is, you might not become a professional soccer player, but if you use those attributes, the discipline, the listening, the hard work, the punctuality, in any sphere, you will be successful.
Exactly.
And that's just,
Exactly.
just what I always try to
Well,
to
Stanton,
bring
thank you
across.
very much for coming through. Matthew, incredible stuff. Thank you very much for coming. And Tania and Okuhle, thank you very much. We said we don't know what eggnog is, right? Jeannie has the answers. Come through. Before we go, we need to have
Okay,
a
wait,
bite of
I've
this.
got one
Comes
better
up.
than eggnog.
What do you have?
I've
What
got
do you
chocolate coins. I figure you guys do so much cardio running around the field, you can have as much chocolate as you want.
Well, Jeannie does that.
There you go, little chocolate coins.
A big thank you to everybody for watching. We're back on SABC3 tomorrow at 4 p.m. From all of us in studio, it's good evening and happy eating.
Bye.
Good night.
Coming up tomorrow on Afternoon Express, Metro FM DJ Rams Mabote joins us in the loft to share his experience of living in an ever-changing South Africa, and we chat to journalist and author Panase Chigumadzi.
Another feel-good production.
Hi YouTubers, thank you so much for watching the show. Be sure to not miss another episode by clicking subscribe right over there. And we'll see you every day. Afternoon Express. Enjoy.